This activity is called Chromo Flies, and with every activity you get a bin of materials, a bag of other supplies, and you have your poster board. So the first thing you want to do is set up your poster board. And for Chromo Flies, we always use the lawn stand just because you usually use up the entire table for this activity. So then you just want to pull it out of its bag, and then you want to throw the bag back into the bag. You want to just come around the side and put it on the side of the table, and you can do it on the left side or the right side. And these are super simple to set up. You just get them all through, just like that. Perfect. And then you kind of just set it up. Awesome. And then you want to put these things down. And then you want to put your sign on it. And all of the preschool Playdays activity has these signs. Just place your sign on it. If you want, you can always push this back a little bit more, adjust it any way you want. And then after that, you want to go back to the table. And every table you get a folder. And in the folder, you have stickers, and then you have your visitor count little sheet where you put your activity, name, the date, how many visitors you get, children above the age of 8, and adults. And then we have a couple questions like what supplies are needed for the activity, and do you have any ideas or suggestions? And then on the other side you have these preschool playdate brochures, and inside it what you do is when they complete the activity you put a sticker on a little footprint. And if a parent doesn't have one, then you can go ahead and just give them one. And then with these activities there's also something called take homes, or takeaways. And so parents can take these home and they can work on other activities with their kids that are very similar to what we're doing. So for this activity we actually don't have a binder of how-to, but we do have a few of these, and they're laminated because Chromo Flies actually stands for chromatography butterflies, and it kind of just explains what chromatography is. And it's very hard to teach chromatography, so we just have this out there for the parents. Moving on. And this is not on the table, it's either in the bag by your feet or on your lap. Each bag also comes with wet ones because this activity can get a little messy. And when you're done, we also have these Lysol wipes that you can wipe the table with. And this activity does get messy and a little bit wet, so we have these towels. And I know they're a little off color because they're all colorful, but it's completely fine. They're clean. And if parents want their butterfly still a little wet, then you can put it in a bag for them. And we have a stack of white bags. You just open up the bag and give it to the parent, or just hand the bag to the parent. And we also have a cup and some pipettes if you actually want to do chromatography on the side to show them what chromatography is. You don't have to if you don't want to. Some of our volunteers haven't been doing that just because a lot of the younger kids don't understand. So once we have that done, we can set this aside. So in this bin, we have our clothespin. And then you can just make a pile on the table. And then we have our spray bottle. And you want to be holding onto the spray bottle. Don't let the visitors do it just because it can get messy and they will fight over it if you hand it to them. So you just want to make sure you're the one holding it. And we have two, if there are two volunteers at the table. And then we have these trays. And we spread it out on the table. And this is actually a very small table. Your table will be much bigger than this. So you'll just put out the trays, and then we have some markers. You can just place markers in each one. And if there are any markers that are drying out, just toss it and just let me know later how many you tossed out. And then what you want to do next is you want to lay down a few plates. And they don't get to take these plates home. And we reuse these. So we just want to remind you and remind the the visitors. So you're just going to place a plate down for each spot at the table. And then you want to place down a coffee filter at each spot. And then you just want to make it lay as flat as possible. So I can just show you quickly with these two. And then you can just, of course, lay these on the table as well. And then we have here some pipe cleaners that I have cut in half to be little antennas. And then we also have a pinned butterfly in the little bin for them to look at if they want to. And then we also have this beautiful display of other butterflies. And this is actually available for purchase in the store as well. But we haven't marketed that at all. But if they do want to know where they can find this, it's available for them in the Explore store. And then other things in here are examples. These examples are volunteers have made in the past, and we always lay a few down on the table. And if there are some kids who are too young to make these butterflies, but they really want one, you can just let them take an example home with them. That's completely okay. We can always make more. So we usually lay them across the table. And then the last thing we have is a sponge and some of these temporary butterfly tattoos. And if they want one, we can definitely hand them to them. And if they want to put it on right away, we do have the option with the sponge where you can just spray the sponge and then place it on for them. Once you're done, what you want to do is put away the materials you're not going to be using back in the bin, and then you want to just close the bin and place it under the table. So a quick how-to is you kind of want to start with letting the visitors know that this activity will consist of chromatography, and that is because they will color on the coffee filter. We're going to place it on a clothespin, and then we're going to spray it, and they will see the colors spread. Because in each marker, there's more than one color. Like this black marker, there's more than just the color black in here. There's also blue and purple and orange. So what you want to do is you want to remind them that they shouldn't be drawing inside the circle, because the circle part will actually not be visible once they scrunch it together and put the clip on it. So you want to remind them to color on the outside. So we can do a quick example. Alright, so once they're done, then they can hand it to you, and what you're going to do is you're going to just scrunch it up, grab a clothespin, pin it, and then what you're going to do is kind of spread out the wings, and then you just take a spray bottle. I'm just going to make sure it's squirting, and then you just want to spray it once or twice. And then after that, you want to shake it. And during this process, you can start to see the colors kind of not change, but separate. So as you can see in the black, the blue is starting to come out. And what you want to do next is you're going to add antennas. So I'm just going to clip this on. And I usually do it for the visitors. If they're a little older, then they could probably do it themselves. But this is basically it. And since there's that big space before heading into the front doors of the butterfly house, some of the kids like to run around and flap the wings so they dry. Our other volunteers have told them, you know, this is like when the butterflies emerge and their wings are still wet, so you want to just flap them so they start to dry. And at this point, when they're done with the activity, you can hand them a bag to take home, especially if the parents are the ones carrying it, or they can just hold it like this and walk around the museum until it dries. And this is basically it for this activity. And if you have any further questions, definitely just email me. I'm available, and my phone number is also attached down. So, all right.